Hello everyone, welcome to today's webinar. Today I will be talking about one of the leading productivity app, the lead assignment and distribution automation. The lead assignment and distribution automation helps you to fairly and intelligently distribute leads or for that matter any other entities among the available resources and thereby removing any chance of cherry picking. Let me very briefly describe the nature of this webinar. Lines of all the participants are muted. Excuse me. I recommend the use of chat window in case you have any questions, and I will try to answer most of it, if not all, in the Q&A session at the end of the webinar. My name is Ninad, and I'm the business manager for the lead assignment and distribution automation at iNogic. Speaking of iNogic, we are a leading service provider and an ISV for past more than a decade, and we have exclusive Dynamics 365 products. We are very much active in the Dynamics 365 community, and our blogs are extremely popular and appreciated by the community. We truly believe in the philosophy of one-click solution, which is building productivity apps that reduces multiple steps which otherwise a CRM user has to take. As you can see on the slide, we have various applications on the offering. I would like to take a moment and very briefly describe some of them. Maplytics. Maplytics is certified for Microsoft Dynamics 365 and helps businesses around the world to plot, plan, visualize, and analyze Dynamics CRM data on the map. It offers seamless mapping services. Key features include managing territories, route optimization, smart appointment planner, and many more. One of my favorite apps from the bouquet is the SharePoint Security Sync. It's a comprehensive solution for integrating Dynamics 365 with SharePoint. It also synchronizes security privileges from Dynamics 365 to SharePoint to ensure secure, reliable access to your confidential documents. Now, apart from developing these awesome applications, we are also SI. We do assist partners and customers with offshore development services. So in case you have a world-changing idea or you may have some customization request, I would like to request you to get in touch with us at crm@inogic.com. So let's see the agenda for today's session. We'll first start with the scope of the CRM automation, the challenges in the sales process automation, the key features of lead assignment and distribution automation, followed by a live demonstration and a Q&A session. Well, I was thinking about the scope of the automation, and here's what I have found. A survey has provided an insight stating that automation in the sales boosts productivity within the department by a staggering 14.5% while bringing down the marketing costs by 12.2%. Now, automation truly has the potential to provide these double benefits. The next step is to identify whether we can automate the sales process, and if yes, the bigger question, how? Well, the answer is our solution, the lead assignment and distribution automation, a simple way to manage all the inbound leads within the Dynamics 365 CRM. And hey, by the way, when I say lead, our solution is not only capable for leads, but almost any out-of-box entities as well as the custom entities. However, before we discuss the lead assignment and distribution automation in details, let's see some of the common challenges that most organizations usually face when it comes to automatic record assignment. The first and the foremost is the cherry picking of the leads or the records. The sales representative or the service representative, or for that matter, any CRM user can cherry pick the records based on their convenience. We also don't have any provision to keep a track of the leads or the records assigned to the team members. Further, in native CRM, there is no provision to distribute leads in an organized manner. Even if the distribution of the leads cannot take place fairly, which means the records cannot be assigned to the team members based on their available capacity. Now let's see how the lead assignment and distribution automation can overcome these challenges. Here are some of the key features that the lead assignment and distribution automation has to offer. The first one is even distribution, in which the records are assigned to the resources in a sequential and circular pattern using the round robin algorithm. Now, don't worry about the algorithm. I will be explaining the algorithms that the lead assignment and distribution automation supports very shortly. Next is the fair distribution, in which the records are assigned to the resources based on their available capacity of the resource. Then we also have the criteria selection. Now, in criteria selection, you can create rules based on a certain criteria. Now, any record that satisfies the criteria will be taken into consideration for automatic allocation. Let's say, hypothetically, let's say you want all the leads that are originating from a certain place, let's say US or Australia, to be assigned to a certain team of members. Then, by defining the appropriate criteria with our solution, it can be easily achieved. The next is, if the record does not satisfy any particular criteria, then it won't be considered for automatic allocation. Now, let's say that one of the users, one of the sales representative or one of the service representative is on a leave. We don't want the lead to be assigned to that user, correct? Well, with lead assignment and distribution automation, we can set up user availability as well. The next is queues. The entire process of lead assignment and distribution automation is based off the native queues, and we will be deep diving this very soon during the demonstration. The dashboards, all the data that is accumulated by the lead assignment and distribution automation is in a report friendly manner. This means you can create your own Power BI dashboards as well, or you can create CRM charts and dashboards to visualize the data. The last is the work items assignment. Well, we do support to assign the work items based on a daily basis, weekly basis, or even monthly basis. Now, we were talking about certain algorithms. So let's see the algorithms that are currently supported by the lead assignment and distribution automation with an example. Okay, on your left hand side, you can see the round robin algorithm, whereas on the right hand side, you can see the capacity algorithm. Now, for the round robin algorithm, you can also observe that we have applied a certain criteria. Now, if the lead that is being created is not for an existing customer, only in that case, the lead would be going to the pre-sales queue, that is using the round robin algorithm. However, if the lead is being created is for an existing customer, then rather than the pre-sales queue, the lead would be lined up in the post-sales queue, which is based on the capacity algorithm. So what exactly is this round robin algorithm? Now let's say, for an example, a lead is being created where the customer or the prospect is not an existing customer. So the selection criteria is definitely matching. It is satisfied. This means that the record can be assigned to either Sam or John or Mary. So the first lead that is being created will be assigned to Sam. The second lead will be assigned to John. The third lead would be assigned to Mary. The fourth lead will be assigned back to Sam. The fifth one to John, and so on. Quite simple, isn't it? Now let's see the capacity algorithm. Here you will see a subtle difference, a very, very small difference. The difference is of the capacity. Now this means that any lead that is falling in the post-sales queue, the available capacity of the resource will be taken into consideration before assigning the record. Now let's assume that to serve a particular lead that falls in the post-sales queue, the resource needs at least 25 units of capacity. Now this is just a hypothetical number basis. This can be definitely changing from organization to organization basis. So if a new lead that is being created for an existing customer, as per the selection criteria, it will definitely fall in the post-sales queue. Now, in the current situation, we see that Missy does not have any available capacity, as she has already exhausted all her units. The next one is Jacob, and currently Jacob has the available capacity of 50. Now, if the new lead is assigned to him, 25 units from his available capacity will be reduced, and then he would be left only with 25 units. The next lead will be assigned to Lena. Currently, she has an available capacity of 100. Once the lead is assigned to Lena, 25 units from her available capacity will be reduced, and Lena would be left with 75 units capacity. Now, once the resources like Missy, Jacob, Lena, they close any of the record assigned to them, that's when the 25 units would be added back to their available capacity, and they are again available in the game for the new resources or new records to be allotted to them. Now, with that being said, let's dive into the demo. Let me just switch to my CRM. Now, consider an example. Now, let's say there is an organization who wants the leads to be assigned to the right person based on whether it is a hot lead or a cold lead. Perfectly fine. The most common scenario that I found with many of my prospects and customers. We want a hot lead to be catered by a more experienced team of users. Whereas a cold lead, okay, maybe not. I want it to be assigned to the best person available. So we can create certain rules. Now, for the demonstration purpose, I have already pre-populated the lead, and I've created a few set of assignment rules that will help me assign this lead automatically to the right person. So as we can see, I have logged in with Jonathan as my owner, and I'm creating this record. One of the iNogic solutions, the Kanban board, beautiful visualization by the way. So interested in Kanban board, and I've just entered the first name and the last name. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to change the rating of this lead from warm to hot. And then I'm going to go ahead and save this record. Now, please kindly note that currently the owner of this lead is Jonathan, and let me go ahead and hit on save. So in a matter of few seconds, this record would be assigned to the right person. But before that, let me go and explain to you how it works. So I have already configured a hot lead queue, and this is a part of an assignment configuration. We will be going in details in a few moments from now. This is just for a glimpse of how it works. So as we can see, we have a hot lead queue, and there are three members: Mia, Nathan, and Nia. Perfect. So as per my judgment, the lead that we have created right now for Sheldon would be assigned either to Mia, Nia, or Nathan. Now to just confirm that, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to refresh the page. Okay, let's give the solution a couple of moments by the time it's doing the processing. Let me just try Control Shift and R, the hard reset. Let me just sign this. And here at the top, notice the change in the ownership. The record, which was previously owned by me, in the sense Jonathan, is now assigned to Mia. Now, you can imagine the number of hours or the time that it can save for sales managers or service managers, other persons who would be manually looking at the rating of the lead and then assigning it to the right person. And this is just a tip of the iceberg. This is just one of the most commonly used example. We can configure it to a very, very complex level. A hot lead generated from a website source from a certain area, please assign it to A, B, C users. Easily done, no problem at all. With lead assignment and distribution automation, all the scenarios that you may want are pretty easily covered. And to show or to demonstrate that, let me quickly explain to you what it takes in order for the lead assignment and the distribution automation to work properly. Now, once the lead assignment and distribution automation is installed, let me show you right here. This is my sales hub. Let me move to my lead assignment and distribution automation. Once it is installed and configured, you will see a lot of you'll see a few entities right here. For me, the most important one that we would like to begin with is the assignment configuration. Now, basically what you need to do is to enable the entities which will be leveraging the lead assignment and distribution automation functionality. Now, remember, in the beginning, I had mentioned that our application not only supports the lead entity, but any of your out-of-box entity as well as the custom entity. In my case, I have created for this webinar the configuration for the lead entity. So let me open the lead entity and explain to you what rules I have configured. Now, initially, I have created two different rules. One is to handle the hot leads using the round robin algorithm, and one to handle the cold leads using the capacity algorithm. Perfect. Now let's look at the hot leads assignment rule, the one which I have opened it right here. So here's my hot lead assignment rule. Now this is the rule which was under which the recent assignment took place. Now to configure the hot lead rule, we will require some basic information, the name, the assignment configuration, the optional description, and so on. The next comes the execution criteria. Now, within the execution criteria, the first one is the criteria mode. Now, here we support two different criteria modes. One is simple, and the other one, as I have selected, it is advanced. Now, in the simple criteria mode, you would be presented with the most of your system views related to the lead record. Now, why only lead record? Because I'm configuring the assignment on the lead entity. And you can select any one of them. However, if you want a more advanced version, the way I have configured it, that first check if the lead is hot or cold, and then accordingly put it up for auto assignment. In that case, I'll be selecting the criteria mode as advanced, and I would be providing the fetch XML. Now, assuming that all of us are pretty aware about how the advanced find and the fetch XML works, I have just downloaded the fetch XML and just used the copy paste functionality provided with the fetch XML right here. Now, the next attribute is the execution order. Now, this is extremely useful in case you plan to create multiple rules on the same entity. Now, as I have configured, one of the rule is hot leads. That's it. Just check if the lead is a hot and then assign it to either Mia, Nia, or Nathan. However, in the real world, we can have multiple rules. Simple hot lead, yes. hot lead from Australia, yes, assign it to let's say user A, user B, user C. Let's say cold lead, true, cold lead from Australia or US, assign it to X, Y, and Z. So we can have multiple rules which are configured on the same lead entity. Now, in that case, the rules will be executed in a sequential manner based on the execution order. Whichever rule under which the criteria is satisfied first, that would be taken into consideration and the remaining rules would be ignored. Okay, we also have consider availability. Now I'll talk about consider availability at the end of this demonstration. This is a quite interesting feature which I want to reserve it for the end of the demonstration. Well, the next algorithm, the next attribute is the queue. Now, I've given you a glimpse of the queue, which is the hot lead queue, and I've just opened it right here. So within the hot lead queue is basically where I have just configured which users should you consider for assigning the hot lead. So as I had mentioned, Mia, Nathan, and Nia, the three users. Okay, let me continue with the rule first, hot lead rule. The next one is the assignment algorithm. Now, as I mentioned, our solution supports a couple of assignment algorithms, the round robin and the capacity. Now, for hot lead, I'm using the round robin algorithm. Now, the next comes the maximum work items allowed. Now, this basically defines the maximum number of records that can be assigned to the queue member as per this assignment rule. Now, I've not kept any number, but let's say I put the number as 10. Now, this means 10 leads can be assigned to each user. But when the 10 items are allowed daily, the 10 items are allowed weekly, the 10 items are allowed monthly, or do you want to assign 10 items overall? Now, this question is answered by period. So once you select the number 10, we can have the option as daily, monthly, or weekly. Now, I'll switch to the presentation to provide you with more clarity. So let me switch back to my presentation, and here it is. Now, let's say in this example, Sam, John, and Mary are three resources. Now, if Sam has already been occupied or has been assigned 10 lead records on his name, then he will not be considered for any new lead record that is being created. Rather, any new lead that is being created would be assigned either to John or to Mary because they don't have hit the maximum cap of 10 records. Now, why only 10 records? That's because this is what I was trying to configure during the configuration. So as soon as Sam, John, or Mary moves their lead record from open state to, let's say, qualify or disqualify, they will again be eligible for the new records or for the new leads that is being created. Now, in case all the three resources, that Sam, John, and Mary, they are occupied with 10 records, then the new leads that are being created would sit in the pre-sales queue. And as and when Sam, John, and Mary are freeing up their resources, the new leads would be assigned to them. Let me switch back to my assignment rules. Now let's see. This is all about the round robin algorithm. Now let's see what it is required to configure the capacity algorithm. So here's my cold lead. For that, I have already had a cold lead rule, which I have kept it open right here. Now, most of it is the same. We have got the name, we have got the assignment configuration, the optional description, the criteria mode, the execution order, the fetch XML, the consider availability, the assignment algorithm. Everything remains the same except one, which is the unit effort required for the work item. Now, let's assume that each resource requires a certain unit to complete a task. For example, in our case, let's assume that to process the assigned lead, a resource requires 2 units of effort. Now, in simple words, to process 2 records, the resource requires 4 units. To process 3 records, he will require 6 units, and so on. Now, the question arises, where do we define the base capacity on each resource? So let me show you that as well. So here's my cold lead queue, and I've kept it open for simplicity. And we have 3 members right here. We have Nathan, we have Revon, and we have Shirley. So let's open up Shirley in this case. And here you may notice we have the base capacity and the available capacity. So I have set the base capacity of Shirley to be 70 and the available capacity is also 70. Now, by just looking at the insight, I can tell you that Shirley is currently not processing any of the leads. The reason, if Shirley has been assigned 1 lead, 2 units of this base capacity would be deducted and the available capacity would be standing at 68. Let me show you one of the other users in case if they have certain, oh, here it is. So Revon currently has the base capacity of 25. However, the available capacity stands at 23. This means Revon is currently working at least on 1 lead. Perfect. Let me just close these tabs and let me go back to the leads and let me create one more lead. Interested in Map My Relationships? Perfect. Penny wants to work on that, and I'll make the rating of cold, and let's try to save this. So again, I am the owner, in this case Jonathan, and what I'm expecting is in a few moments the record would be given either to Shirley or Revon or Nathan. Let me just confirm it. Let me just come back and hit on refresh. So now you may notice that the owner has changed. It's Shirley. Let me confirm that and let me open Shirley in from my queue. I remember Shirley had initial 70 available and 70 as base capacity, but now since she's working on one of the records, the available capacity is now 68 instead of 70. Perfect. Let's continue with one more interesting feature. Let's say Shirley, for example, as a user now Shirley is going on a leave, right? And let's say from tomorrow, today we are standing on 26th of April, and from tomorrow, Shirley wants to go on a leave. So for that, we also support something what we call it as the status types. You may notice the status types right here. So we have available, we have break, or we have unavailable. Well, it's really easy for creating any new status types as well as per your business use cases. So let's say I am putting up a new type of status, which is medical leave. And whenever we select medical leave, do you want this to be available or not available? So of course, once any user is going on a medical leave, the availability would be no. Let's save and close this. So now we have one more status type, which is medical leave. And what I'm going to do is I'll go to the vacations, and within the vacation, I'm going to hit on for a user, let's say emergency. I'm just giving a name to this, emergency medical leave for the user Shirley. And I'm going to put the status as newly created medical leave, and let's say it's going to start from tomorrow, and she will be there. She'll be not there for a couple of days, that is from 27th April and till 28th April, and she'll be good to join the day after that. So what will happen is once I hit on save, the availability of Shirley user would be turned to no from 27th to 28th. And what happens is, because of this, I'll come back to one of the key features that I had reserved for the last. Consider availability, and I have said it to be yes. This means before a lead is assigned to the user, check what status of availability the user has. So tomorrow onwards, Shirley would be having the availability as no, and that is the reason 27th and 28th of April, none of the leads will be assigned to Shirley. Rather than assigning it to Shirley, it would be assigned to the other two users. That's the power of lead assignment and distribution automation. Lovely. Now, I'm sure having looked into all of these features, you in your imagination, the visualization would have started playing. Hey, I can use this lead assignment and distribution automation solution for automating the lead, automating the cases, or if you may have certain custom entities. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to launch a very quick poll in your organization. Which entity would you like to be enabled for the automation? So whether it is lead entity, or whether it is case entity, or whether it is activities, something like an email, phone call, appointment, or maybe some other out of box or custom entity. I've already started getting lead. Lead is leading. We also have custom, other out of box or custom entity. So I'm just assuming it's custom entity for time being. Case, wow, good one, right? So the possibilities are really endless, right? So whether it is lead, whether it is case, activities, custom entity, everything seamlessly supported by lead assignment and distribution automation. Thank you guys. Thank you for casting your vote. And let me just close this. And let me switch back to my presentation. Great. Having said that, now lead assignment and distribution automation is supported from CRM version 9.x and above. Well, it is also supported on premise as well as in the online environment. Impressed with the lead assignment and distribution automation and want to get your hands on? Well, it's really simple. All you have to do is just go on to Microsoft App Source and search for lead assignment and distribution automation. Also, you can download it from our website www.ilogic.com and then import the solution. In either case, you will have a 15 days fully functional trial of the lead assignment and distribution automation to get hands-on the application. Now, let's have a look at some of the frequently asked questions which I get when I'm demonstrating to the prospects or configuring for the customers. Does the lead assignment and distribution automation work across devices seamlessly, whether it's the web, whether it is tab, whether it is mobile, seamlessly work across all the devices? Second, what Microsoft Dynamics products do you support? Well, just mentioned CRM version 9.x above, Dataverse, and the deployment can be done online or even on premise. Is there a way to track how many leads are assigned? Yes, definitely. We also support something what we call it as a dashboard, which looks something like this. So as you can see, we have a dashboards that helps you to check which entity has been used, how many leads have been assigned till date, and so on. Everything beautifully visualized. Okay, so what will happen to the existing leads in the CRM which are yet to be assigned? That's the most common question that I get. So let's say you have around 10 or 15 leads which are present in the system, and you install the lead assignment and distribution automation. So once you go on the lead entity and once you select all the 10-15 leads that you have, then we provide you with the button called as run assignment, which looks something. So let me try to go back to my sales hub over here. Let me go to the leads. Now, once I've selected the leads, you may notice we get the button called as run assignment. And when you run assignment, each lead will be checked for the criteria that you have defined. And if it satisfies the criteria, it will be assigned as per the set criteria. So it's really easy. Even if you have existing leads in the CRM, that can be easily assigned. Can the managers assess the individual performance of their team members? Definitely yes. The dashboards are meant for that. And how to get started? Just mention switch over to inogic.com or the Microsoft App Source. Get it downloaded in your system. It will be available for a 15 days fully functional trial. Lovely. So time for the Q&A right now. As requested at the initial level, if you have any questions, please do use the chat window and do ask your questions. I'll be extremely happy to provide you with the answers. Okay, so I've got the first one. Can I use it for the custom entities? Yes, definitely. It's one of the key features provided by the lead assignment and distribution automation. You can definitely use it to assign the custom entities as well. Well, I would also recommend in case if some things are not getting popped, the questions are not getting popped up right now, you want to have a first hands-on, and then you might have certain questions. That's a great probability. So once you download the trial, if you start playing hands-on and if you get any questions, please drop in your questions to crm@inogic.com and I'll be happy to pick it up and then resolve it as per your convenience. Okay, then thank I would like to thank each and every one of you for attending this webinar. It was my real pleasure to present the lead assignment and distribution automation to you. We hope you liked it and enjoyed it as well. Watch out for our next webinar very soon. Till then, thank you, take care, and have a great day ahead. Bye-bye.